New truck, new trailer, new load. This week has been a little bit of a challenge, so the humidity down here is probably going to mess with this camera. No name yet. It's going to need a name soon, I think.
Right across these plains and prairies, rocky mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Patriot Specialized. Today's episode, a new truck, new trailer, new load. This week has been a little bit of a challenge, so learning some new stuff, learning a lot of new things. Been a little bit of a challenge, but I'm at my customer now. I loaded in Coraopolis, Pennsylvania. I ended up not picking this up on Friday like I said on the last episode, but I picked it up Monday morning with the new truck and the new setup. We got loaded and got rolling. I'm down here in Louisiana right now at my customer. They are not open yet, but there is a curfew in Louisiana, in New Orleans, from 7 to 9, so, or 6:30 to 9, I believe it said on my permit. So I ended up scooting out of the truck stop early, got down here, and they open in about 20 minutes here, so I'm just sitting on the side of the road right outside their gate, waiting on them to open. I figure I'd jump out here and show you the load since I hadn't done that yet. As soon as this traffic dies down a little bit, I'll get out and go show you this load. Alright, so the humidity down here is probably going to mess with this camera. There's our baby right there. This is the load. This is a hammer drill, 31 foot long, about 5 foot round, weighing in at 91,000 pounds. It's actually 90,440 pounds is what I came up with at the scale. So what I did, I got all new chains, come with the new equipment. So these are all 1/2-inch chains. Funny part about that, when I was putting these chains on the truck this weekend, when I was switching everything over, and I was putting these chains on the truck, there's my fender. We're gonna talk about that here in a minute. I was putting these chains on this truck. My wife was like, man, how heavy are those things? We put them on the scale. These chains weigh 53 pounds each. I bought 12-foot chains, 12-foot 1/2-inch chains. These things weigh 53 pounds each, so we might be doing something about that. But anyways, what I did for securement on this thing, 91,000, 92 to make the math easy, requires 41,000 pounds of securement. So I have 1/2-inch chains. These babies are rated at 11,300 pounds each, or I'm gonna call it 11,000, make the math easy. So we got 5 chains. I got one here, one back there, and then there's 2 on the back that go all the way across. I got 5 chains, and then these 2 straps, even though I only put them on just to hold those hoses in place and make sure they stayed there, they still count as securement, and they're 5,400 pounds each. So we've got plenty of securement on this thing. We got about 55,000 pounds worth of securement just chains, and then 2 straps. So pretty good load. It's been an interesting trip. I've learned a lot, like weights and axles and where to put stuff, and this has definitely been a learning experience, and we learned a lot. So I'm gonna jump back in the truck and we'll talk about that, but I wanted to show you the load before they unload it. So one last look. Turns out, let's talk about that fender for a minute. Lock nuts are a beautiful thing. That's all I gotta say. Or lock washers. Alright, so we bought this truck with the fenders on it. This truck is not brand new. We bought it used. It's a 2001 or 2021. It's actually 1 year older than Ghost, but had about 130,000 less miles on it. Whole lot more truck. I'm gonna cover the truck later on today. I'll probably do an episode just on the truck itself later on today after I'm in kind of a hurry. It's learning curve last couple days. I spent a lot of time learning what I was doing with this truck and trailer. Didn't really have a lot of time just to focus on the truck. So once I get loaded this afternoon, I got a pickup in Texas. It's going up to Quebec, Canada, that I'm picking up this afternoon. Once I get picked up this afternoon and get the miles run off of that thing, see that another layer this week that because it's holiday week, Labor Day weekend this weekend, we got to be off the road by noon on Friday in Ohio. A lot of states are like that. Some states are different, but Ohio is where I'm going to end up being Friday morning, and we got to be off the road by noon. So I got a little bit of humping to do here. I got to go get this thing picked up, get this delivered, go get this thing picked up in Texas, and I got to run some miles off of it tonight. Probably, man, I'm hoping at least 5 hours off of it tonight to have any shot at all at making it by noon on Friday. It's going to be tight. Going to be super tight. I probably might end up taking this thing to the shop and dropping it there and then taking a pickup truck home or something. Just because that saves me an hour and a half. That's an hour and a half closer. So I might end up having to do that. I don't know. We're going to see. 71,000 pounds though. This thing was 91,000 pounds. Truck handled it awesome. So I think 71,000, it's not really going to slow me down a whole lot. It probably will a little bit, but not a ton. So that's good. That's going to help out. But that's what we got going on right now. We're going to get this thing delivered. As soon as these guys get here and get all set up, we're going to get it delivered, and then we're going to scoot on out of here, go over to Texas, and pick up a, what is that thing called? Seismic Vibe. Whatever the heck that is. So stick around. Be right back. Loaded up. You just saw that putting that thing on. I figured I am just inside of Kentucky right now from Tennessee on 65. Figured I'd jump out here, talk about this load. We'll cover it real fast, and and we're gonna try to make it home. We're gonna try to make it off the road by noon tomorrow, man. This is challenges of this week continue. So let's cover this load real quick, and then we'll talk about that. All right, here we go. Here we go. It is warm out. All right, so this is what we got right here. New truck. No name yet. It's gonna need a name soon, I think. All right, so here's what we got. This thing is what they call a seismic vibe. Pretty cool unit. Well, I guess what it does is that that base right there comes down to the ground, and it sends seismic booms down into the ground, and it's searching for oil or minerals of any kind. There's a bunch of sensors that go out, and then they collect the data from the sensors and see if there's anything there that's that they could drill for. This one is going up to Canada. I guess they do this all over the place. They said they were in Texas, they were in Florida, they were in Iowa for a while. They said they were in Ohio for a little bit. They've been all over the place. The same guy that loaded me is going to meet me up there to unload it, providing we get a manifest to get across the border, which they are working on, and I'm confident we should have it tomorrow or possibly Tuesday. But looks like we'll be okay with that. But what we got here is this thing weighs in, they told me it weighed in at 71,000 pounds. It actually weighs a little over 72,000 pounds. I got it pushed all the way to the back. I was trying to get more weight on the quad axle because I wanted to leave the pusher axle up. I didn't want to have to run on 8 for this thing. But what I ended up, well, I'll put the scale ticket up real quick here. What I ended up with was 62, almost 63 on the trailer, which requires that fourth axle to be down. They're only going to give you 20 per axle on trailer, so I could only get 60 on a Triton. So the fourth axle had to be down for the extra 2,000 pounds. And then as it turned out, my drive tires ended up being about 47,000, and they'll only give me 46 for a tandem. So I ended up having to put the pusher down and order the rest of the permits with the pusher down. So that's how we ended up all on 8. Whatever. I mean, I got the axles, I might as well use them. They're down on the ground. These fenders are continuing to be a fight on the truck, and I'm gonna show you that here in a second. But we're 72,000 pounds, pushed all the way to the back. You just saw the scale ticket. You heard me talking about how the axles ended up the way they are. What I did for securement on this thing, 72,000, divide that in half, not like earlier on in this video. We divide that in half, we come up with 36,000 pounds of securement that it requires. So I got 4 chains holding this thing in at 11,000 pounds, 11,300 pounds each. I put one going through there all the way across, pulling backwards. Did the same thing here, pulling forwards, or kind of straight down, but it's got a forward tilt to it. Then I ran 1 chain, 2 binders in the middle, hooked around the middle, came right to the outside, hooked to the edge of the trailer. I was really trying not to do that with the new trailer, but these bigger binders, they don't fit down in here in the chain grabs. And I didn't have enough chain the way it was to be able to go through the D-ring and hook on that, so I ended up just hooking on the edge of the trailer. That actually, when you hook on the edge of the trailer like that, it actually makes a really strong connection. Like when you're tightening up, it tightens up a lot faster that way. So I like doing it, I just didn't want to hurt the paint on the brand new trailer. But obviously we got our flags on. We got our bungee flag back there, or our magnet flag back there, right to the metal bumper, and then I put a bungee flag back on what is essentially the front of the load, but it's actually the back of the unit. And then here's our last chain. They have these nice hooks here. I went right through there all the way across. So that gives us 4 chains at 11,000 pounds each, or actually a little over 11,000 pounds each, holding in what requires 36,000 pounds of securement. So we are well good on our securement. It's in great shape. I wanted to get this done before somebody pulled in here, but apparently I'm not gonna get to do that. So we are in great shape there. Like I said, we just got inside of Kentucky from Tennessee. And oh man, he kept going. Just got inside of Kentucky from Tennessee, and we are hopefully gonna make it to the house, or at least to the shop tomorrow by noon. Obviously, you guys know you gotta be off the road on holiday weekends. You gotta be off the road by 12 o'clock in a lot of states. Ohio is one of them where we're gonna be. So I'm gonna try to get that done. I'm looking like I'm in good shape for it. One problem, I don't currently have an Ohio permit. So we're gonna see what happens there. I'm gonna get to the Ohio border. Kentucky will let me run at night. So I can run in the dark. I can leave here as soon as my 10 hours runs up. It'll be dark. I can run in the dark in Kentucky. I can get right to the Ohio border. Hopefully that permit will be there. I can time that to be there right at 8 o'clock. Hopefully that's when Allison gets in and she can give me, hopefully that permit will be sitting there. She can give me that permit and we can get out of here. The way I set up the trailer, we actually had to go on the 4th lowest setting in order to get this thing down where we need it to be. We're currently 13 foot 3 inches tall on the trailer, 9.5 foot wide. And they told me it is 28 foot long. I think it's actually a little bit more than that, but whatever, didn't matter, no big deal. We can make it work either way. So right now I'm gonna go inside, grab a shower, get something to eat, and get to editing this video. Hopefully I'll get it posted tonight, and we will talk to you guys soon.